What's up?
Hey, what's up, my fellow golf ball addict? Hey, we playing golf this weekend or what, man? What's going on?
No, I still don't have any irons or any wedges.
What? Still? Come on, dude. What are you doing? Like, it's been weeks. I mean, I know you didn't like those clubs, but do you think maybe you were a little premature on getting rid of them so soon?
I don't know, man. I can't find anything that works for me. You know how it goes. You look at these rankings, it's like this one has the best, distance, but it has like no forgiveness, and this one has the best forgiveness, but it's low on distance, and yada 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 yada.
Well, yeah, bro, remember, there's never going to be anything perfect out there. And just keep in mind, take what you actually need. You need forgiveness, you need accuracy. And remember, the more spin you get, a lot of the time that'll take distance off. So keep that in mind when.
Hey, hold on. I'm sorry. What'd you just say?
Yeah, remember, it's just like with golf balls, like you told me. The more spin it has, the more distance it takes off. So sometimes that could probably be a little misleading. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, we play as a scramble. So, I mean, we're most of the time hitting off of fairway. We're rarely hitting out of the rough. And we play a lot of short courses, too. So,
I gotta call you back. I love it. Direct to consumer. Price is completely affordable. Number one in accuracy. Number two in forgiveness. That's what I need right there. Add to cart, baby. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Looks great. Simplistic. Upgraded grips. Oversized super stroke. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to test these. Let's get right to it. Golf ball? Check. Golf glove that's way past its prime and even has a hole in it? Check. Magic Mind Mental Performance Clarity Shot that allows me to play my best golf possible by enhancing my focus, but also allowing me to increase my organization in real life and with normal everyday tasks. And you can try below for 20% off with this code GOLFJUNE. Check.
So as you can tell from the title, this is a review on the Macgregor MACSPD Irons. Now, my fellow golf ball addicts will know that I was using a different set of irons a couple weeks ago, and it was one of those things where I thought they were great, but they just weren't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, every golf profile player is different. Some people need more spin, some people need more forgiveness, some people need more distance. Whatever the case may be, I just didn't have the right club. I needed more spin. The club I had was by far the less spin, most distance club on planet Earth. It couldn't have been a worse match. It really couldn't have been. So that sent me on a quest where I had to take a step back, really look at my golf game, be honest with myself and say, you know what, Nick, you're not going to find something that's great at everything. You just need to find out what your weaknesses are and find a club that can help boost those weaknesses up and also help complement your strengths. The Macgregor MACSPDs were actually #1 when it came to accuracy and #2 in forgiveness. Now, distance, you'll notice it says 17th, but here's the thing you got to remember. A lot of the time, the more spin a golf ball has, the less distance it has. I need more spin. So after I was able to come back and look at that from a different angle, I said, now wait a minute, these might be perfect for me. So I went ahead and ordered a set. And how much did this set cost me? Well, irons nowadays are kind of ridiculous, right? So we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Not the case here. So you can actually get a stock set of these for $500. Now, I actually went a little more premium. I went 4 through Gap Wedge. So that's an 8 club set. And thanks to an online coupon I found, I actually out the door only paid around $650 for an 8 club set. And that includes upgraded grips. These are oversized super stroke grips that I had added on also. So $650 for that, I mean, I can't think of a better bargain. So I'm actually going to do two different tests. I'm going to do the pitching wedge and the 7-iron, but I'm going to do it with two different golf balls to compare the results and see what I can get. The first golf ball I'm going to use is the Vice Pro Air. I just tested it out and I actually got really decent numbers with it, but the main knock against it is I didn't get enough spin. And so with these clubs, I'm hoping the increased spin will show up in those tests and we'll see, and maybe it's a little more optimal for me. The second golf ball is the Wilson Boost, which I know is really surprising, but it's $10 a dozen at Walmart, and for 2 years in a row now, it's been one of the highest performing golf balls on the channel throughout all the clubs. So, I mean, hey, I don't know how they do it, but we're going to test it nonetheless. So first of all, let's talk about the design of these clubs. Let's get a closer look. So if we look here on the back, you know, this is really simple and clean. It's not going to win any design awards, but here's the thing. When it comes to irons, you know, I kind of like them kind of like I like my women, really. You know, I like them simple and I just like them classy, sophisticated. I don't want a lot of, you know, flash. I don't want a lot of, you know, party in there. Now there are irons that look like this, and look, I'm fine with those. I've used them in the past. They're cool. But to me, when I see an iron that I think is really good looking, it's most of the time it's looking like this. Really simplistic, you know, not a lot of heavy design in there. Forged blade, really let the iron speak for itself. And that's what this one does. I mean, this one, like I said, as you can see, there's nothing really crazy looking about it. It's just basic, but it gets the job done. The font on the MACSPD is great. You know, looking on the side there, that Macgregor logo looks great down there on the hosel. It's actually a really cool logo, and I like the font as well. Then if we come around and look on the face, it's got a nice brushed metal look there. Face looks clean. It looks exactly like almost any other golf face on the market. So it doesn't look like you take a hit in quality. It doesn't look like you're gonna, you know, be sacrificing because you paid less. So that's good. Now, as far as the shafts, they did have upgradable shaft options. I'll show you those here now. You can see some of what you can get. It is an upcharge depending on, you know, the shaft obviously and what your needs are. I actually don't mind the KBS 80s that just come standard because that's what I'm used to using. I mean, on my Adams Idea, I think it's an 85, but it's a standard club. It has a nice mid-high launch. It's for beginners. Again, I'm someone who struggles with low launch sometimes. I need a little higher. I don't have the swing speed to be able to launch super low. And like I said before, I did get the upgraded grips. These are the Super Stroke grips that are a little bit oversized. I have been getting into the oversized grips lately, and I hadn't had a chance to put them on the Adams Idea yet. So when they offered to do it for, I think it was $5 a grip or something, I was like, heck yeah, buddy, let's go. Throw those on there. So they threw those on there and they look great. They feel great. So I'm ready to test now. That's what it looks like. It's very simple. Like I said, basic, but it gets the job done. And I'll tell you what, I think a lot of people would look at this iron and think it costs more just based on that look alone. Let's go ahead and test. All right, gonna start with the pitching wedge. Love the oversized grips. At address. Yeah, looks good. Definitely oversized if you're someone who's used to a thinner blade. I mean, obviously this is forgiving. It's gonna have a nice big head, but that doesn't really bother me. I'm used to seeing that. Obviously, it'll take a few shots to warm up. It's early in the morning and I am stiff as heck, but really good feel actually. They're very smooth. I don't think it was a clean hit. I think it was a little off center, so I don't think this is gonna have like tour level feedback, but it's not supposed to. It's a game forgiving iron. It's meant to just simulate a pure strike as much as it can on even off center strikes. So that was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it was the best hit, but it felt great. Let's try again. There isn't a lot of feel. I mean, there really isn't. Like, it actually feels like there's a lot of power behind it. Like, it feels like there's a lot of weight and mass. And so there isn't much feedback in the hands at all. So if you're someone who likes feedback, like say you play a Mizuno Muscleback or something like that and you love the feedback it provides, this isn't gonna be your cup of tea. This is, again, I think for more beginner or intermediate players. I definitely feel that heaviness in the head. So like when I'm swinging the club, even though this shaft is lighter than what I'm used to, the head feels heavier. And I think that's just to increase that forgiveness, maybe to increase the accuracy as well, the dispersion. So we'll check that when we go inside. But I mean, it's a little heavier than I'm used to, but I don't mind that. I've been starting to get into the heavier clubs a little bit just to try to, one, build the muscles, but also two, just kind of, my shots are really sporadic and I'm just trying to tighten my dispersion just a little. Oh, that was a miss hit. Not bad. I mean, that was a pretty bad miss hit, and I only lost about 5 or 6 yards compared to what I had been. Gonna try another one off the toe here just to see. Oh, and you can see that toe strike too. That was a heavy toe strike. Oh, again, heavy off the toe. 111, wow. Holy cow. Now don't get me wrong, this golf ball is a very forgiving golf ball, but holy cow. I mean, to hit one off the toe, I want to show you where this was at. Right here. You can see the mark. I'm going to see if I can shine it or whatever, but the mark is right here. I lost like 3 yards. That's all I lost from that. That's impressive. That's what I was needing, was that level of forgiveness.
All right, guys, before I get to these performance data metrics, I got to make a quick pit stop. I got to order some more Magic Mind. Guys, I'm telling you, it is a great mental performance shot. You know, no more Red Bull for me, no more energy drinks. This allows you to have a sharper mind, some calm energy, time-released caffeine instead of this major crash that comes. And I'll tell you what, when that 2 o'clock feeling hits, I rely on Magic Mind. Otherwise, I would not be able to get through the day and get as much done on this channel as I do. So thank you, Magic Mind. I'm going to order some more of this, and I'm going to use that code GOLFJUNE. That way I can get 20% off as well. Check out the link in the description also.
All right, so let's just dive right into these numbers. So let's start with the pitching wedge, and let's start with the Wilson Boost. So as you can see, there is a drastic difference here. There's only a ½ degree loft difference, and actually it works in favor of the max speed as far as being, you know, for greater distance, but that's not the case there. As you can see, a loss of about 13 yards. You know, I tried to keep the swing speeds as close as possible, and you'll notice in the dispersion chart here in a minute that I did take away a couple extra shots from the max speed. That wasn't to get better numbers, it was just to get the swing speed as close as possible. So that's why I did that. Now, looking at ball speed, 96.7 compared to 88.7, that's a huge drop-off. I mean, we're talking about 8 yards of difference there, or 8 mile an hour, excuse me. Then launch angle, you know, the max speed wanted to launch a little higher, which 27.8 is getting pretty high. So when you pair the fact that I'm getting such a high launch with low ball speed, that normally would be an issue, but there's actually less spin, so it kind of evens out there. I'm not real impressed with those numbers just because I don't like losing 13 yards. I mean, don't get me wrong, we'll look at the dispersion here in a second. That's what this club's supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be about accuracy. It's supposed to be about forgiveness. But again, the spin gets the job done. I mean, those numbers wouldn't be bad if I was just looking at them by themselves. But when you compare it to another club like the Adams Idea and you see that difference, it is going to raise some eyebrows. But let's go ahead and get to the 7-iron now and see what we're working with there. Now, 7-iron, as you can see, not as big as a drop-off. We have 161.1 compared to 159.9. That could be because of the compression of the golf ball. The Wilson Boost is a more medium firm golf ball. It's not super firm, but it is more medium firm. So now that we're getting into a 7-iron, the distance isn't as noticeable. As you can see, the swing speeds are very close. Ball speed, I only lost 1.5 miles opposed to 8. I mean, we're talking significant difference there. Launch, actually, the max speed wanted to launch very, very low, and I did lose 300 RPM spin, but I'm okay with that. I mean, the low launch with that spin, that's pretty optimal. So we have one that's like, oh my goodness, what's going on there? And then we have one that's like, okay, hey, you know, that's not bad. It pretty much holds its own. So that's interesting to see. But now let's get into the other two, which we're going to start with the Vice Air on the pitching wedge here. And from the pitching wedge on the Vice Air, as you can see, we still have a drastic difference. So it was 127.7 with the Adams Idea, 120 though. But as you can see, that's why golf ball fitting matters. It matters so, so much, because just between switching from a Wilson Boost to a Vice Air, the Vice Air is a little softer, it's a little squishier. I gained about 12 yards. I mean, that's a significant difference. And if you'll notice, I actually gained spin. So 7,123 with the max speed compared to 6,637 with the Adams Idea. I got a lot better results with the Vice Air. And that's why I tell everyone all the time, golf ball fittings, you know, everything matters. What course you play, what clubs you play, all that stuff. And that's where you can really see the difference right there. So ball speed, only 3 mile an hour difference. You know, I kept the swing speed relatively close. This time the max speed actually wanted to launch a little higher. So interesting there. We're getting some cross results, but for the most part, that's fine. I'm fine taking off a few yards. I got some more spin. Again, when we check the dispersion here in a second, that'll really define whether or not it's worth losing the yards. But yeah, let's move to the 7-iron now. And if we move to the 7-iron, as you can see, again, really close, a lot tighter. 165.7, 164.3. I did swing 1.5 miles faster than the Adams idea, so I apologize about that. So the 116.5, even though it looks like it beats the Adams, it doesn't, because if they were the same, it would be a little lower, but it's very, very, very close. Again, 16.9, that's really, really good. 5,480, I got more spin with the max speed again, so it just depends on the golf ball. Another thing I do want to note, if we look at these right here, which these are the numbers of the max speed on the 7-iron for both golf balls, they're actually very, very close. There is the yardage difference, which we knew about, but if you look at the ball speed, it's relatively close. If you look at the launch angle, it's very, very close and consistent. The Adams idea was not consistent. One was 17.8, one was 19.8. The max speed actually kept everything very consistent with its launch and with its mid spin. So that's where that consistency comes in. That's really important. So now let's get into this dispersion chart here. All right, so let's look at some accuracy and dispersion now. This is where the money's going to be made. So as you can see from those two, now obviously one of those is more zoomed in than the other. Pay attention to the size of the squares. But even if we do that, looking at the two, the 7-iron's what we'll start with, which is what's in yellow, and the max speed definitely has an edge there. Everything's just kind of centered. I mean, everything's evenly distributed. With the Adams idea, you can see it's like way left. There's one, and then there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish that are like really good right there tight in the middle, but there is a push to the right, there's another far push to the right, and there's actually one I caught maybe a blade and got too much of it. Whereas if we look at the max speed, I mean, it's all right there with contained. All those are on the green, all those are birdie opportunities except for maybe one's on the fringe, so I give the advantage there. Pitching wedge wise, I like the accuracy of the max speed. The distance control of the Adams maybe is slightly better, but you can't beat that accuracy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6, all right there in that tiny little circle. That's excellent. That's going to be giving me some serious birdie opportunities, and good looks if I can get that distance control down. So that's great. Let's go ahead and move into now the Vice Pro Air. This is the dispersion for that one. And as you can see, when I had the Adams idea, it was kind of all over the place. I mean, it was left, right, up, down. I mean, it was definitely some marine golf for sure. But if we look at the bottom one, now you'll notice there's only 6 there. I was trying to get that swing speed down to get it to match as close, so I apologize. That's on me. But there's 1 push and there's 5 that are all pretty good in line. I like that. I would say it's, again, just a little bit better than the Adams idea, but not much. This is all marginal here. But looking at the pitching wedge, though, this is where it gets interesting. So distance control with the Adams idea, as you can see, everything's pretty much the same distance, which is great. But look at the accuracy of the max speed. The accuracy, everything is right on that line. Imagine that yellow line there that you can see. Just to the right of it is the target line. I mean, everything is just all in a row, and that's pretty crazy to think about. I had 1 pull left, and that was it out of like 10 shots. So that's excellent. I love the distance control with the Adams, but that accuracy is no joke. If you can get your distance control right, when you set up an aim, that's where that ball is going to go. So that's really good to see. So I do agree with the number 1 accuracy, from my Golf Spy. I understand why they said it was so accurate, because it is. I mean, it's right on the target line. Even for a guy like me who's a little sporadic, I almost wonder if my shafts were heavier, how tight the dispersion could have been. I mean, these are extremely light shafts, so it's doing a lot of work for me, and it's definitely helping me out. So in conclusion, who are these for? Do they have a market? What do I think? Well, I think they're pretty darn accurate. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. I think they're pretty darn forgiving, and I think they're pretty darn accurate. Now, I knew getting into this I was going to lose some distance, right? I'd seen the reviews, I'd seen this testing, I knew I was going to lose some of that, and I thought it was going to be because of an increased gain in spin. I did not see that, and when I didn't see that, I'll admit, I got a little nervous. I was like, oh crap, what'd I get myself into here? But once I tested the different balls, the Vice Air, the Wilson Boost, once I saw how the shots were coming off, once I saw the ball flight, the dispersion, the accuracy, the forgiveness, I mean, these might be the most forgiving clubs I've ever played. I mean, to hit one off the toe, and to hit it off the toe so bad, it kind of stung my hands, and I was like, okay, I can't even use that. And then to turn around and get the same distance, to not lose a single yard, I've never experienced that. That's legit. And so, yes, I'm having to sacrifice anywhere between, 3 and 10 yards, depending on the golf ball I use. There'll be some golf ball fitting I'll have to do for sure. But I'm sacrificing those yards, but what I'm getting is so much tighter dispersion, so much more accuracy, and forgiveness that's out of this world. Knowing that I can hit a golf ball off the toe, knowing that I can blade it a little bit, and I'm still going to get pretty much the same exact amount is really key to me, and that's what I was looking for. So that's what these clubs do. So if you're someone who distance isn't really that important, if you play a lot of short courses, if you play a lot of tighter courses, or maybe you swing really fast and you hit the ball a mile anyway and you're like, look, I don't need to fly the green every time, I just need to be accurate, I need to be forgiving, this works also. And there's all those different shaft upgrades, so even if you're a fast swinger, you can go a different route than I did.
However, one route you should go that I went is that you should use the code GOLFJUNE at magicmind.com so you can get 20% off and change your daily life. Link is in the description.
So all in all, if you're a golfer that doesn't care about the distance and you're wanting the most accurate and forgiving club you can buy when it comes to an iron set, and you also like a good value too, can't imagine anything being better than this. I really can't. I mean, I'm overjoyed with my purchase. I mean, I am a little nervous about getting to the course and seeing how much distance I lose and trying to figure out all my clubs again, but I have no doubts that once I figure that out, I'm going to be seeing a lot more birdie opportunities. Guys, as always, keep watching, keep saving, keep learning. Until next time.